And so we're back from outer space. I just walked in and find you here. Let's look upon your face. I should have made you change your locks. Should have made you leave your key. But I survive. I survive. And so we're back. The Rangers lost. Celtic got bumped at the Hearts. And now their hook gets fucked. We're back. Good evening, good afternoon. Stressful start. Let's not pretend that we're sitting here with Capuchuchu, all calm and all collected, because we're fucking up to high dough. The spirit of Mallorca lives with us all, and it's with me today because it's taken a minute. I wish it took a minute. I'm doing a wee peek past the camera behind the wizard sleeve into the audio recording. This may look like a beautiful, well lit, setup with the acoustic paneling behind me, the stage door sling, which I actually got from a shop in Edinburgh. Paid far too much money for it, but that was back in the day when money wasn't real, and deep depression. You coped with that by buying shite in hipster shops. Anyhow, it's looking good. It's taken me 1 hour and 42 minutes to get this fucking set up to record. I was hoping that I would have been done by it. This is eating into my masturbation time. Let me tell you, I was hoped to have been done, sitting here, feet up, relaxing, catching up on some Married at First Sight Australia. Which can I just say, what a show! I love it. I don't care if you don't. I don't care if you don't like that genre of television. I do not care. Because I fucking love it. Anyway, we'll maybe get into that in a bit. We're back. I hope you're all safe and well. Thank you to those of you who have continued to send messages over the last week and to check in. It's been very much appreciated. And it has, it's been very kind of you all. Trying to get back into the swing of recording. It's no easy. It's no been easy. But we'll get there. We're going to need to try and streamline this because, like I'm saying, an hour 40 to get everything all set up. It's just fucking ridiculous. But I was having a wee chuckle as I was trying to find a cable and I was having a few swear words. I did think back to when the man himself, Mr. Lee, would often struggle to get things set up. So I feel his pain. I understand his pain. It's difficult when you are, I was going to say a working mum, which I'm not, but it's difficult when you're trying to repurpose a space, is what I was trying to say. That's because this, believe it or not, this is actually my living room. It's the room in which I live. And normally I have a little desk in the corner, and then it's all kind of brought out in fucking hell ensues for 3 years while I try and set up and do this recording. So we're gonna have to pull in a few favours and get this figured out. Right, bit of housekeeping. We'll go back to doing weekly recordings. It's going to take a bit of time to get into the swing of things. Like I've said, the show has obviously been forced into a change, but the great man is with us, and we will see what it becomes. A few people have messaged me for different things. There are some things planned over the coming weeks, which I hope to bring to the heroes as soon as we can. I'm going to be doing a couple of interviews. I don't know if you would call them podcasts, but I'm going to be doing a couple of interviews with people who are kind of close to the show, and people who were close to Mal and myself, and I'll be recording them over the next kind of couple of weeks and months, and we'll start to kind of drip them out as and when they're ready, on top of the weekly podcasts going forward. So that's the plan. There's a few things. There's a kind of bigger thing I'm working on with a friend of mine who he works for the BBC. Just a cameraman and that. Nah, I mean, fucking BBC when they touch any of that shit. But I'm wanting to do a kind of a group thing, I suppose, talking about, memories of Mal and stories of Mal, because a lot of people get things to share, and I want that to be of a certain quality, and I want that to be, looking fucking top dollar, my man. So that's what's coming up. A few other little ideas are brewing, and we'll get them out as we get them made, and as we get them looking fucking shine bright like a diamond, and then I'll get them to you. But if you've got anything, that you want to see happen, or anything that you want to for me to discuss on the show, then please do get in touch, and we'll go through there. But it's there's some stuff in the pipeline, there's some things planned, and watch out for that, man. Watch out for that. You know what I mean? I was going to say stay on the socials, man, but I hate the fucking socials. But stay on the socials, brother. Get on the socials. #show.co.uk. You'll find all the links on there. And I need to update the website as well to get the links for the back catalogue. But there's lots. Look, what I'm saying is there's lots to be done. I'm stressed at my tights because I've had to fucking manoeuvre this room about for 2 hours. But, well, these are things, Gibbo, that shouldn't cause you problems. I actually saw a video on Monday of this week, and it's talking about rephrasing your language in order to be more thankful and present with your current life. And I thought, that's all well and good if you're a fucking Yankee Doodle Dandy. If you're Scottish and you're raised on bitterness and resent, changing your language isn't going to fucking help us. It's not going to help your situation. Do you know what I mean? The woman, again, of course she's American. These people are American. She's in a car and she's driving to work, and it's thing. Change your language to say, I get to drive a car. I get to go to work. Or we're in the supermarket. It's like, I get to buy whatever food I want. Your language shouldn't be, they only have 2 different types of avocado paste. The language should be, isn't it a joy that I get to choose between 2 different types of avocado paste? No. No, it's not. Because, as a wise man once said, the world isn't all sunshine and rainbows. I don't know. In fact, I would love to see these prankster videos where they go up to, and again, it's always America. These things never happen in the UK because they'd get fucking stabbed, right? We do say that America is an extremely violent country, and I feel as if we maybe only get to see a small percentage or the high end percentile of the very worst. Because I'd love to see somebody go up to an old tradie in B&Q in fucking Burgeddy and go, "Oh, hi, puppy," in his ear and see what happens. Same way I'd like to see somebody go up to a fucking single mother in Asda. Or some poor woman stressed out her tights in Lidl rescuing a pair of bastards trying to fucking do quick maths in her heads to see if she's got enough to cover this week's shopping. I'd love somebody to go up to them and say, why don't you change your language to say, isn't it a joy that I get to spend the last £7 I have on substandard food to try and feed my family? I'd love to see that happen. So I know that I'm sitting here, I'm moaning that this has taken me so long to set this up, and I get that, but at the same time, it's the fucking anger that drives us. Climate change needs to hurry up and happen in Scotland. I'm sitting there thinking, fuck, man, it wasn't that long ago we used to get bad snow in March. The sun is splitting the trees outside. Fine. But if we are living in a time where the only thing that's going to get us through is having positive language and positive outlooks, then the fucking world needs to get a bit more positive, my man. And that starts with sunshine. Sunshine. The world isn't sunshine and rainbows. Aye, but see if it was, I'd be a right happy looking wee mad cunt, so I would. I suppose it would be easier to be skint if it was sunny. You could get fucking 6 litres of woodpecker cider and sit in your garden and get mad with it for £1 if it was sunny. But it's no. The sun's out, aye, but it's freezing. And somehow it's still wet, which makes no sense. I'm going off on a tangent here, but I'm just going to say this as it comes to my mind, talking about outside being wet. I'd said to the missus about a week ago, we'd washing, and I says, why don't you hang the washing up outside? And she said to me, the slabs are wet. and then walked off. Now, I didn't know if that was some kind of mystical rhyme that I had to, or a riddle. I don't know if she put a spell on me. Sometimes women say things knowing full well that the man in their life will not understand a word they are saying. But they say it possibly just to fuck with your mind, and also just to test you, to see how much you're willing to ask, how much information you really want to know. Because men are very simple. We need the basics. You know, there's a 4-step process in order to put this thing through correctly. Here is step 1, and then read 3 and you go, listen, I'll figure it out, and you fuck off because you're a man, and you will figure it out. But she said to me the slabs are wet, and then left the room. And obviously, you know, intrigue. I had to follow and inquire. And apparently, if the slabs are wet, it means it's too damp. It's still damp, and your clothes will no dry if you hang them up outside. Now, if you have a garden which has no slabs, I don't know what you do. I didn't even know that this piece of information existed. That this old wives' tale, maybe it's passed down mother to daughter through the generations. A young woman is off, her wedding day, and her mother comes in and she's like, "Mother, you and Papa have been married 35 years. Do you have any tips for a long, happy marriage?" If the fucking if your slabs are wet, your washing are no dry, head. Mother, 40 years married to Papa. Any advice for a happy marriage? Suck him off twice a night. If you want to be as happy as your father and me, suck his balls once a week, tug him off on a Tuesday, and if his slabs are wet, never hang out your washing. Oh, I mean, that really is the information for a happy life. You know? Any tips? Any tips for a happy marriage? All this. You know, life is about give and take, and you have to find your roles in a marriage and adapt to that, and whoever does, make sure you get your hole once a week and fucking take your bins out. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? I don't know. I don't know what I was talking about there. What was I talking about? I don't know. It'll come back to me or it'll not come back to me. This is why I need you, Mal. Come back. Just fucking... I need my pal to bounce off. Otherwise, this is just a mental illness. So, repurposing this room for the podcast, and it did get me thinking that we are currently in a housing crisis in the UK. Now, you may not think that is an issue, but it's a huge issue. It's affecting the whole of the country. I didn't realise how bad it was. And again, this is starting to kind of highlight the fact that it's almost impossible to find any information on actual news articles that you'd be concerned with. For example, there is, if you are on any of the social media platforms, I would say any, but if you're on, in particular, X or Twitter and the TikTok, the Chinese spyware, if you're on either of those two, if you're on Xi Jinping's, if you're on Ping's network or Musk's network, there's more of a chance you're going to get the good stuff, right? You will have seen the videos of the farmers across Europe causing, for want of a better word, a fucking havoc. Even farmers in the UK as well, gone a bit mental. I don't fully understand what the in fact, that's just fucking... Do you know what? We're sitting here... I do this every time. We're sitting here in front of the fucking... We're connected to the World Wide Web, Gibbo. We are sitting connected to the World Wide Web. Let's fucking ask. www.worldwideweb. What are the farmers fucking up to? What are the farmers fucking up to? Turn caps lock off. Farmers have said they face falling sale prices, rising costs, heavy regulation, powerful and dominating retailers, debt, climate change, and cheap foreign imports, all within an EU agricultural system based on the premise that bigger is better. Well, you know, that's what they. I mean, you can't really argue with the bigger is better. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I saw some videos again during the week where it was. I want to say it was in France. It had to be France because the French do not fuck about. And why is this? I don't want to hide read review. I want to look at read review. I tell you, see sometimes this fucking Mac. The farmers in France had been spraying shit, slurry. So they've been going to supermarkets and they've been spraying tankers full of shit all over supermarkets to stop people getting in to buy food. And I couldn't really understand what it was all about, because whenever I see protesters and it says French protesters or protests in France, I just think, they fucking lazy bastards. They just don't want to go to their work. But then I saw some of the protests in Germany. I saw some of the protests in the UK. The German ones are pretty good. To be fair to them, the Union Bears know how to put on a foot. You can say what you want about the Germans, but they boys know how to put on a flare show. Hundreds upon hundreds of tractors lined up with the flares going full blast. It was like the Luftwaffe was coming back over Govan. It was fucking delightful. But I don't know what they're moaning about. And sometimes there is a kind of concern with, not a concern, but there's a kind of, not necessarily straight away do the farmers in this country have our sympathy. Mostly because I would say 80% of the farmers we know are all kicking about in fucking, £300 Gilets and 80 grand Range Rovers. So you can't be that fucking skilled, if you know what I'm saying. So, of course, when matters of protest, there's only one place we can go. There's The Guardian. This is from the 2nd of February, so it's probably the start of the protest now. Hundreds of tractors choked Brussels city centre on Thursday, and angry farmers pelted the European Parliament with eggs. Classic egg toss. Agriculture was not on the agenda of the EU leaders meeting just up the road. Politicians may find it hard to ignore during their grievances at their peril. Here's a look at what lies behind the farmers' protests. Protests have been sweeping Europe for months. You alright, Murph? Protests have been sweeping Europe for months, including countries in Greece, Germany, Portugal, Poland, France, where the government was taken by surprise this week by a motorway blockade of Paris. I've seen recently as well, they've started to dig up the roads into Paris so that trucks can't get in. Farmers have said they are facing falling sale prices, rising costs, heavy regulation, powerful and dominating retailers, debt, climate change and cheap foreign imports, all within an EU agricultural system based on the premise that bigger is better. Farmers' costs, notably for energy, fertiliser and transport, have risen in many EU countries, particularly since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. We're gonna stop there, right? We're gonna stop there. And this is going to be a new rule for the podcast going forward, and or for as long as this lasts. If we're ever reading a news story, the other dogs fucking make noises. If we're ever reading a news story and it references Russia or the war in Ukraine, we're going to stop reading. We're going to stop reading, because I could be cancelled again for this. The pod could get shut down. YouTube could fucking take us off the air. I am done with this idea that everything is because of Russia and the war in Ukraine. I'm fucking done with it. Especially after watching the Tucker Carlson interview with Putin, where Putin just seemed like a fucking bit of an old mental guy, as I'm sure we all thought he was. But the subsequent videos that came out after the 8 days when he was in Russia, and he's going around Moscow restaurants and he's going to Moscow fucking McDonald's and the Moscow supermarket. And people out in Russia are fucking living the good life. This idea of sanctions, that we have fucking put a chokehold in Russia. Oh, well, bloody show Putin, we're not going to send them Heinz beans and fucking Kellogg's Rice Krispies. Oh, you bastards, you. And is he going to fucking give in? Or the people of Russia are going to be crawling through the snow going, please send us a 1 kilo jar of Nutella. We can't take it anymore. Nothing has fucking changed. If anything, the strength of the ruble has gone up in Russia. So people are actually feeling the benefits of it in their fucking pocket. The Russians are feeling no impact on this war whatsoever. Now, obviously, there's an argument that the people in Ukraine are continuing to suffer, and something has to be done. But whatever has to be done cannot be the detriment of the people here in Scotland. For fuck's sake. You could Tucker Carlson going in the Russian McDonald's, which is just McDonald's called McDonald'sky. McDonald'sky. Welcome to McDonald'sky. Mate, brother, comrade, this looks stuff like McDonald's. No, this is McDonald'sky. This is Russian McDonald's. It's no connection, no affiliation with American bastard McDonald's. This is Soviet McDonald'sky. 100% Russian boar meat in all McDonald'sky burgers. Then the cunt just eats his McDonald's in the back of a van. He's like, do you know what? It just tastes just like fucking McDonald's. Because it's McDonald's! It's the same fucking thing. So meanwhile, in Russia, where we've sanctioned them and told them that they're the bastards and everything's their fucking fault, we are sitting here and some poor woman in fucking Brest in the outskirts of Paris can't get to an Aldi because some fucking mad farmers spray painted it in shite. Or the presenters of Country File have gone into hiding in case some fucking dairy farmer for Inverness goes and slashes his tyres and his fucking 80 grand fucking half-inch Range Rover or whatever the fuck that company is. I drive past two farms coming home, and I tell you what, one of them looks like, it doesn't even look like a farm. It looks like a fucking compound, a millionaire's compound. They've got a picture of a bull on the outside of it, on the gate, electronic gate. You're telling me that fucker's worried about the size of his carrots? I mean, slightly going off on a tangent again as well. Has anyone noticed the size of carrots in the supermarket lately? You know, I'm not easily a jealous man, but gone are the days you worry your missus would run off with the fucking milkman. Now she's probably having an affair with a bag of carrots. What the size on them? Anyway, whatever happens with the farmers, I hope that I hope it fucking works out for you, man. Because everybody loves Clarkson's Farms. Everybody loves it. I'm waiting for the season 3 to come out. I'm excited for it, so I hope it comes out soon. Read on slightly. Farmgate prices. The base price farmers receive for their produce dropped by almost 9% on average between the third quarter of 2022 and the same period of last year, 2023, according to Eurostat data analysed by Politico, with only a few products, including olive oil, hit by shortages, bucking the trend. Imports are also a bugbear, particularly in Central and Eastern Europe, where a flood of cheap agricultural produce from Ukraine, on which the EU waived quotas and duties following Russia's invasion, has depressed prices and increased resentment about unfair competition. Polish farmers began blockading roads from Ukraine in protest as early as last spring, and although Brussels soon imposed restrictions on Kyiv's exports to its near neighbours, as soon as they expired, Hungary, Poland and Slovakia each announced their own. Ukrainian grain should go where it belongs, to the Asian or African markets, not to Europe, the Polish Farmers' Trade Union said last month. Elsewhere in Europe, notably in France, cheap imports from further afield are a source of mounting anger. Produce from countries such as New Zealand and Chile is resented for not having to comply with the same strict regulations as EU farmers. Negotiations conclude a wide-ranging trade deal between the EU and South America's Mercosur trading bloc have been a target of particular anger, with European farmers unhappy at the protests of unfair competition in sugar, grain and meat. It's one of those situations where it is one rule for them and one rule for us. Where your average man in the street continues to get his arse felt on a fucking daily basis. Am I right, brother? You can understand the anger with the farmer. You can understand the anger. But is spraying shite on an Aldi the way to go? I don't know. I'd say if you want real change, you need to start spraying shite on politicians. And again, I should say, for legal purposes, this is satire. and I would never condone such behaviour. But fucking good luck to the farmers. You know, maybe things get tough. You sell one of the fucking 80 grand Range Rovers. Maybe you take that tractor that's worth fucking 600 grand. Maybe you sell that. Maybe you sell some of the land for housing. Maybe you sell some of your land for housing. You know, let's kill two birds with one stone here. We're in the middle of a housing crisis, and there's farmers that are selling their skin. So maybe we sell some of your fucking land for housing. Some of your 100 acres that have got fuck all on it, apart from gypsies and quad bikes. Maybe you sell that, you fucking tight, gilet wearing, Tory voting, inbred fucking farmers. And if there's any farmers listening, thank you for your support. I fucking love the farmers. Right, we're going to finish up with a story that I've just seen close to my heart. Marks and Spencer's cakes. I don't know if this is because Mother's Day is coming up. 10th of March. This Sunday is Mother's Day. Is it this Sunday? Is it next Sunday? Is it next Sunday? What's today's date? It is this Sunday. Is it? Come on, Scott. It is. It's this Sunday. Fuck's sake. This Sunday is Mother's Day. Now, I may be wrong here, but I feel as if Mother's Day changes every year. Does it? I don't know. I don't know if it's a Christian... Is it a Christian thing? Is Mother's Day a Christian thing? Is it like Easter? Or Pancake Tuesday? Anyway, 10th of March, this Sunday, coming up. So if you haven't got your mother something, fucking get her something. And here's the thing as well. You're maybe sitting yourself going, what did I get my mother? I tell you what you do. Do her ironing. Think outside the box. You might buy her flowers. You might take her out for afternoon tea. You might buy her lunch. The whole family goes out. Do something this year that your mother would actually like. Okay? Get her hole. Obviously not for you. maybe not even for your dad. Get somebody in. Get your ma a gigolo for Mother's Day. Right? Hire a boy to get in with a card, sellotape to his chest, and fucking sort your ma out. I tell you what, your dad wouldn't mind. Your dad wouldn't mind. Because it probably give him a bit of peace. And maybe she's happier in the house. And if you're not comfortable doing that, because not all of us are Catholic, why don't you do your mother's washing? Think about that. And I'm telling you right now, if you gave your mother the choice of going out for her lunch, or you coming in the house and doing the washing and doing the ironing, she would pick the fucking ironing. Now, as I'm saying it out loud, the logic is starting to unravel. Because let's be honest, you would fuck up the washing and you would fuck up the ironing. So again, get somebody in. Get in the Yellow Pages. Get online. Find a Ukrainian housekeeper and send her round to your mother's on Mother's Day to do the fucking ironing. Now you might be saying to yourself, but Gibbo, surely she's got a mother and she would be with her on Sunday. And I say no, because she lost her in the war in Kiev. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible, Gibbo. But there is a war on. That's why the farmers aren't happy. Put out an advert online looking for an orphaned Eastern European housekeeper to go round to your mother's on Mother's Day and do her ironing. And that is the best gift that you could give your mother this Mother's Day. Forget chocolates, forget afternoon tea, forget experiences like the Willy Wonka factory. Forget that. Get somebody to do her ironing. Or get a good seat. I said two things to them all once. That's it. So, go and get it. But I imagine this story is going to be about Mother's Day, which is this Sunday. So, headline is this. Connie the Caterpillar has had a makeover and M&S shoppers are fuming. Fucking fuming. Now, anything that gets the Tories' backs up, we're all for in this show. Nothing says I love you like a caterpillar cake. I would have to agree with that. And I'm going to say something controversial. Calling the Caterpillar is a good cake. But it's not even top 5 cakes out there. It's just a Swiss roll with thick chocolate. That's it. Can't polish a turd, but you can wrap it in chocolate. The beloved treat has been pampered for the occasion, now rocking cucumber eye masks, a hair towel, a spa essential slippers. Good for her. Some would say, some could even argue that Marks and Spencer's really playing to the gender stereotypes here, which is out with that of a leftist supermarket, you know, considering it's Mother's Day, that could be a bit more gender fluid. Anyway. Connie the Caterpillar is available up until March 10th. The special caterpillar cake also comes with mask printed on the packaging, which can be cut out along with flowers you can glue on to customise. Why the fuck would you want to do that? An Instagram post by the supermarket announcing the change has racked up over 14,000 likes and countless comments. That is how bad current mainstream media is. We are now reporting on how many likes a fucking post from Marks and Spencer's gets on Instagram. What a time to be alive. Hundreds of fans on Facebook tagged their loved ones with excitement. I love her, commented Katie Emery, while Sue Phillips said, this looks delicious, I want 3. Oh, slow down, Sue, you fat fuck. Not everyone was over the moon though, although the recipe is the same with Connie's new additions made from white chocolate. This limited edition option is smaller than the original, obviously because women are smaller than men, and that is why they shouldn't be able to compete in men's sports. Satire. Whereas previous Connies and her male counterpart Colleen weigh in at 625 grams, absolute spavulous Connie is a slender 350 grams, further hammering home the stereotype that no one likes fat women. Sue Granger replied, it is nice. These are just made up names. Sue Granger, Sue Phillips and Katie Emery, made up names. Sue Granger replied, it is nice, but it has got a lot smaller and I believe it has increased in price. Well, there's a fucking war on, Sue. Yeah, cow. Caroline Roberts joked it was half a Connie, followed by Sue here. A lot of Sues no happy with Marks and Spencer's. Sue here, instead of making the special one half a size, I wish you would still do the full size one. The family doesn't get any smaller just because it's a special occasion. That is true, one of the Sues. But listen, it's for Mother's Day, you fucking rat. So why don't you just give the cake to your mother? And you can have fuck all. Eh? How about that? The cake's not for everyone. Right? We need to start endorsing that idea as well. See, on the occasion, the cake is for the occasionaire, the occasionee. Okay? So see, if it's your birthday cake. And nobody else gets a fucking bit. Forget this. Cut a wee slice off your granny. Fuck off, gran. You can wait till Mother's Day, you old cow. Or your own birthday. So on Mother's Day, get the Connie Caterpillar and give it to your ma. And you get fuck all. Buy yourself something. Buy yourself something, Sue. If you can afford $6.50 for a Connie, you can afford $8.50 for a fucking Colin. The version cheaper in a large size, $6.50 compared to $8.50, but it does appear Connie has fallen victim to shrinkflation. Last year's seasonal cake was also half the original size, but came in at £5. Shoppers have noted everything from Quality Street to Lower Pack getting smaller while prices got larger over the last few years. Again, there's a war on. If you can stump up for the cute sponge roll for a Mother's Day treat, however, we're sure the smell on your mum's face will be worth it. It will. It will. It will. Now, think of the smile on your mother's face on Mother's Day when you present her with a beautiful card, handwritten note, and a Connie Caterpillar cake. She will smile from ear to ear. Then imagine you step to the side and go, Mother, this is Magda. She's from fucking Kiev, and she's here to do your ironing. Your mother will weep. Your mother will weep with joy if you did that. If you said to your mother on Mother's Day, here is a Connie the Caterpillar cake, a card, and an Eastern European woman to do your ironing, she would just die with joy. So do that. That's my advice to you, team. Look after your mother. You've only got one. Get her a card. Get her a Connie the Caterpillar cake from Marks and Spencer's, and find somebody to do her ironing. And if you're not comfortable with going out and getting a wee gigolo for your ma, then stick a couple of blue pills in your dad's tea and let nature take its course. Let nature take its course. It's a gift for the whole family. It is a gift for the whole family. Thanks very much indeed for listening to the podcast, guys. That's the end of this episode. For the listeners, the show does continue on for the heroes on Patreon, and this week we continue to talk about some more about the French protests with the farmers. There's some stuff about housing crisis and why the Victorians built walled gardens, and we also discuss the immersive Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow. Quite a funny wee... I quite enjoyed that wee bit. So if you want to listen to the full version of the episode and the extended content, then please do become a hashtag hero and continue to support and help support the show. Go to patreon.com /the hashtag show. That's Patreon, patreon.com /the hashtag show. And you can sign up to become a hero, and you will get access to the back catalogue and every single episode in its entirety, including the extended version of this episode. So yeah, thank you for listening. Please do that. Head to Patreon now and support the pod. I will speak to you all next week, and stay safe, look after each other, love is our currency. Onwards. Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Good night. Okay. Great. Good night.
The hashtagshow.co.uk